We have the new moon at 28 degrees of Taurus happening on May 19th at 8:32 a.m. Pacific, which is 11:32 a.m. Eastern. Check your local time to see when this lunation is occurring for you. And this is the first new moon in a while that's not a solar eclipse in Taurus. That's right, this is your regular schmegular new moon in Taurus, even though it has its stuff and it has some very important stuff going on during the time of this lunation. We've got that grand fixed cross that I talked about a week ago going on as this moon is occurring, so that's going to play a vital role in this whole situation. But hey, at least we're done with solar eclipses in Taurus. We won't have another one of those for another 10 years. The next time there will be a solar eclipse in Taurus will be May 8th of 2032. So that's quite a bit of time. We do have one more eclipse situation with Taurus, and that happens around October 28th. That will be our final eclipse in Taurus. That'll be a lunar eclipse rather than a solar eclipse, since it is coming during the full moon in Taurus. Since we'll be at the polarity point for Taurus, which is Scorpio. Since this is a mixed bag moon, the vibes on the graph are somewhat mixed. They're not as wild and crazy. They're definitely a good mix of what's going on. One of the excellent things that we have going on is ambitious energy. Ambitious energy will be at its highest as we get to about the 20th, but it'll be going on during the time of this lunar event. And this has a lot to do with the dynamic transits that we're dealing with at that point in time. So when we have harder, complex transits, it allows for us to take action on things. We feel motivated to get things done. We feel motivated to deal with problems that have been building up. And so we'll have enough energy to get things moving in our lives and get some obstacles out the way if need be. Intersecting that is a smidge of solitude and a smidge of emotional sensitivity. So a little bit of that has to deal with some of the irritations that we have, like I was saying before. So there may be some triggery moments during this lunar event. Mental energy will also be present. We've got a steady stream of that energy occurring during the lunar event. And we also have a smidge of good luck. There could be moments where we're considering our options, we're considering what other opportunities are out there to resolve our situations, and just finding alternatives, feeling mentally sharp despite some of the weird, foggy stuff going on. We could have moments of mental clarity and finding alternative solutions to whatever issues are going on around us. And luckily, there's some room for some fortunate moments that could come up as a result of this lunar event. And even though we have all of that stuff going on in the background, this is a new moon. New moons are about starting something fresh in the zodiac sign and adopting its positive qualities, so that way by the time we get to the full moon in that same sign, we're able to reap the benefits, we're able to see what needs to be tweaked, what's ready to go, or things that no longer serve us that we need to sever ties from. So think about where you'd like to see yourself in Taurus energy by the time we get to the full moon in Taurus, which will be on October 8th of this year. At this point, we might be very familiar with Taurian energy, considering that Taurus stellium we have going on, Jupiter being in Taurus, the nodes being in Taurus. It is all about Taurus energy at this point, on top of the eclipse series that we've had in this sign as well. But now we're getting to enjoy more of the favorable points of it. We'll get to enjoy that with Jupiter being in Taurus as well, but this here brings in a special energy. Also, the great thing is Jupiter will also be present within this moon. It's not connecting by degree, but it does bring in a nice boost in terms of whatever we need to take care of so we can get things going in our lives under this sign. One of the biggest themes in Taurus energy is consistency. So are you looking to develop more dependability in your life? We all come to a point where we're sick of things being scattered, things being unstable, no reliability whatsoever, and that could be with our schedules, that could be with the people around us, that could be anything in our lives that is just not consistent. So this could be a point where you're looking to develop some sort of strategy to ensure that things in your life are reliable. Sometimes that entails seeking out better social circles. Sometimes that entails looking for better options when it comes down to our career, so we're earning more income. And of course, we're talking about Taurus energy, so that ties into that comfort and anything to do with monetary stuff. But this could be a period where you're looking at ways to make sure that you have that around you. And it may be you. You may be looking at yourself and realizing that maybe you're more scattered than you'd like to be, and you're wanting to work on being more of a consistent person, so that way you're showing up for yourself and you're showing up for the people who are worthwhile. There are times in life where, spontaneity is called for, but there are other times where predictability is necessary. And if predictability is something that you're craving, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes in the world that we live in, people tend to look down on that in a way, and they think that spontaneity is always the best thing, but it really isn't, because sometimes that spontaneity could lead to being scattered and being all over the place and being flaky. Sometimes having that predictable lifestyle keeps you grounded. So if that's something that you want for the sake of your well-being, then you should absolutely go for that. Predictability does bring comfort, and speaking of which, is this a period where you're looking to live a more softer life? Are you wanting to look at a path that's less harsh on you? One of the biggest benefits of Taurus is taking a tranquil approach to life, meaning yes, be active, yes, do the things that you need to do. It's necessary to ensure that you have the resources that you absolutely need. At the same time, let's take the road less traveled. Let's be consistent, but not engage in toxic productivity. And honestly, it's super easy to slip into that and being overly ambitious. Being ambitious, there's nothing wrong with that. And coming from somebody who has a go-getter chart, there are times where that shit can lead to burnout. And you want to make sure you're not spinning your gears. You want to make sure that you're being productive, but not to a point where you're making yourself sick. The society that we live in completely supports grind culture, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there are times where you really have to be gentle on yourself. So is this a point where you're wanting to fall back from that, where you're wanting to still be able to do the things without the expense of it affecting your body? And we're dealing with Taurus energy, which is of the body, and so this could be a time of wanting to get back in your body and get grounded and learn the art of relaxation, learn the art of enjoying being in the body, and also learning a way to get back in touch with your senses so that way you're not numb to them. And sometimes this could look like protecting your peace. This doesn't always have to be a thing about ambition and grinding. Sometimes it could be the surroundings that we have with us. Sometimes that could be our environment. Sometimes it could be the people around us. So this could be a period where you're working on getting out of turbulent situations in favor of creating ease in your life. Taurian theme that you could be looking to develop is the art of patience. Taurus is a very enduring sign, and there are times in our lives where we came to a place where our patience has gotten us in trouble. Our lack of patience has gotten us in trouble due to impulsivity, reacting, not being able to wait our turn, and things like that. Or, feeling a sense of entitlement that everyone needs to be on our time frame. And that's a no-no in life. That's just not how life works. And a lot of times we end up getting caught up in that type of bullshit. And maybe this is a point where we're wanting to work on that. Maybe this is a point where you're wanting to learn how to be more patient, where you're wanting to learn how to be still. Similar to Capricorn, it's kind of like the art of delayed gratification, but differently. Not as rigid as you would get within Capricorn energy, but peaceful patience. Sometimes we have to understand that things move slowly and be okay with that instead of making ourselves sick, because sometimes that lack of patience can cause anxiety, can cause us to get worked up for something that we have no control over, leading to chronic stress and worry over things that, again, we just have no control over. So through this period, while you're learning how to be more patient, this could be a time where you're looking for better coping skills with that. This could be a time where you're looking for better stress relievers when you're feeling anxious and when you're feeling that itch that you need to get something done right now, or you just can't wait for something, that pins and needles, ants in your pants sort of feeling. This could be a 6-month period of finding ways to get back in your body and develop a way of dealing with that type of stressor of having to wait for things. And like I was saying when I was talking about Jupiter in Taurus in the horoscope for this week, things come slow under Taurus energy, but they have staying power. Yeah, we always want instant gratification. It's nice, it feels good, but it burns out fast at times. And with Taurus energy, it's slow and steady wins the race. And what ends up happening is whatever we end up getting ends up being long lasting. So through this energy, we learn the importance of a slow dime rather than a fast nickel. Taurus has a lot to do with dignity. So is this a period in time where you're wanting to raise your standards? In other words, are you wanting to have more self-respect? Are you wanting to have better standards for yourself when it comes down to everything in life? Because standards isn't just relationship related. It could be any situation that we might be accepting something that's lower than what we should be accepting. Accepting things that don't align with you also is a way of disrupting your peace in life. And so this could be a period where you're wanting to work on that. You're wanting to gain more self-respect. You're wanting to gain self-confidence. You're wanting to understand your value. You're wanting to understand your worth, or what's worthy of your time. Who do you value? What do you value? And if those things should stay, or if those things need to be altered, or if certain things and situations need to go. It could truly be a period of accepting nothing less than the best and only connecting with things that align with your spirit. Because Taurus deals with comfort, the comfort can come in so many forms, but is this a comfort that you're seeking in the form of money? In other words, are you wanting to earn more to create monetary comfort? So this could be a period to work on money money noise. Money noise can come in so many forms, but the two main forms, sometimes it could be shame for spending money and being overly frugal, and then there are times where it could be overspending with money and just being wasteful. Sometimes this can come up in the form of not accepting the right positions for yourself when it comes down to career. There are times in life where we have to do what we have to do, and I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't accept any old job, but there are times where, we get into these jobs and they're meant to be a layover period for us, but we're still finding ourselves stuck in that position. And so this could be a period where we're looking at our options. We're looking to see where we can earn more. We're also looking to see where we can fix issues when it comes down to our relationship to spending, where if you're on one end of the category, you're learning to not be so tight with your wallet and to treat yourself for a change. And if you're on the other end, you're learning that you need to start saving. You need reliability in your life. You're needing to put money away so that way you can have something to fall back on. So on one end, we could be letting go of guilt when it comes to spending money. And on the other end, we can be releasing ourselves from shame when it comes down to being irresponsible with finances. But this could really be a period of developing ways to ensure that you're comfortable when it comes down to your financial situation overall, and you're doing things that'll help you earn more. So use this time to become consistent and persistent on your goals like a Taurus, while building a softer life that's not so demanding on your soul. Let's look at these transits and see what we can expect from this lunar event. As a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps this channel grow. And if you'd like to support the work of this channel, you could do so by buying me a fresh cup of coffee. There's a link in the description box below. Yeah, so energetically, this is a mixed bag moon because of some of the stuff that's going on. We've got some harmonious events, but we have stuff going on in the background with that grand fixed cross. Honestly, it's potent, so it's really not in the background, but for this lunar event, it's definitely not connecting in a way aspect-wise by degree, but it is affecting this lunar event overall. This is the chart ruler since it governs Taurus, and right out the gate, it is making connections with the moon that might feel harsh, and for this reason, we'll need to be mindful of our emotions. We'll need to be aware of overindulging, and that can come in the form of food or overspending with energy like this. Our emotions could definitely feel like they're fluctuating at times. One of the good things though is Venus is connecting in a stabilizing alignment with Saturn, so that may mitigate some of that. With energy like this, it allows for us to look at what we need to commit ourselves to. Committing ourselves to the right situations, and the right situations because we're dealing with Venus and Saturn together in this type of alignment. This could be relationship wise, this could be monetarily wise, but whatever the situation, we're looking to invest in the proper things for ourselves so that way we can have long-lasting results. Because that grand fixed cross is occurring during this lunar event, this might be a time where we're looking at how to make a fresh start by breaking away from situations that we've gotten trapped in. And gotten trapped in meaning basically they've gotten stale, they became a comfort zone that's become a trapping, or just any area of life where we might have stagnated. This could be a period of breaking free from that. It may not be comfortable, but we could feel called to take action. Like I was saying with the vibes on the graph, we could feel motivated to get things done, and whether that's easy things or harder things, this could be a period where we're finding solutions to what felt like unsolvable problems. So through this, we could be clearing the way from comfort zones that have boxed us in, where pride has painted us into a corner. Might examine where turbulent behavior has kept us on this toxic loop in terms of negativity, and where rigid thinking has stunted the progress we've tried to make in our lives. This moon is connecting to Saturn in a way that's not so harmonious. It's also connecting to Uranus in a complex alignment. So even though we've got a little bit of stability coming from Saturn with Venus, this is one of those things where, again, our emotions could feel like they're fluctuating. There could be a sense of gloom, and there could be a sense of numbness the next moment. So we'll need to find a way to ground our emotions so that way something like this doesn't have us feeling like we're all over the place. Luckily, this moon is connecting to Mars, Neptune, and Pluto in a way that's harmonious, which is going to be great for helping us take action, which is where that ambitious energy came into play. This is also going to be good for looking at getting in touch with our mystical side and working on healing our vibes, working on healing our energy if it's out of sorts. With the situation with Pluto, we could be examining ways to work on our coping skills. That way we could release ourselves from stuck patterns and repressed emotions. The signs that'll feel this lunar event more than others will be the fixed modality: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius between 26 to 29 degrees of these placements. So if you have any chart points and placements within these energies, you're going to be affected by this lunation. Also, the mutable modality will feel a little bit of this because it's in late degree Taurus. So Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces between 0 to 2 degrees of these placements will also feel the effects of this lunar event. Anyway, I hope you all have the best new moon in Taurus ever. Later, and see you in the next episode.